please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody. So today I want to talk about Carter Hart of the Philadelphia Flyers because I think he is proving to be the real deal. He is the franchise goalie that Philadelphia has been waiting so long for. And he's going to be a high-level, top-tier NHL goaltender for years to come for Philadelphia. And that is something that they've desperately needed. Because when you think about the Flyers, for the most part, they've been a pretty good team over the past decade plus. They've been consistently in the playoff picture, in the playoff race, in a solid overall franchise and organization and team. Sure, they've had some bad years mixed in there, like last year where they had a really, really rough season. But for the most part, they've been a good team. The one thing holding them back, really for the past 20 years now, has been their goaltending. They have not had that top-tier franchise goalie to lead the way and to be a consistent rock in goal for them. You look at even the year they went to the Stanley Cup final, their goaltending duo was Brian Boucher and Michael Leighton. Not exactly Vezina Trophy candidates there. And honestly, it was pretty shocking that with those two in goal, they even made it to the Stanley Cup final. And they've had guys throughout the years have solid 1 or 2 year stretches, but they haven't had anything long-term, and they haven't had any consistency in goal from really anybody. They haven't had that one guy in net that is their starting goalie. And when you look around the league, teams that are consistently good and in contention and winning Stanley Cups have generally had that starting elite goaltender who is the number one guy and that rock in goal. Philadelphia hasn't had that, but now I think that is changing. I think they do. Carter Hart is the real deal for the Philadelphia Flyers. This kid is just 21 years old, having a spectacular season this year. Really was really good when he came into the league last year, midway through the year for his rookie season. I see him being a top-tier NHL goaltender for years to come. Top 10, maybe even top 5 goalie. Vezina Trophy candidate maybe in the future, particularly as he heads into his prime. For him to be playing this well and this good at 21 years old, think of how much better he can still get, how much more he can still develop. And goaltenders are usually, take a little bit longer to develop than other players. They don't usually come into the league at 20 years old and start lighting it up. Goalies are usually 24, 25, 26 before they really start to play at their highest level in the NHL. Hart's still 21. He's got 3-4 years before he's in his prime playing at his highest level. So think of how much better he can still get, how much more he can develop, and just what level of goaltender he can end up for Philadelphia. This is what they've been waiting for. This is the kid finally, after basically 2 decades of waiting, this is the kid that they have been waiting for to be their goalie. And I think he is going to be an incredibly, incredibly good goaltender for them for years to come. He should be the Flyers' backstop in net for the next 15 years and should be that high-end franchise guy that they have been waiting for. And, this organization, that they've needed that. It's been the one thing, I think, holding them back from being that top-tier cup-contending organization. They've had the teams. They've had some really, really good teams there in Philly. They've had some incredibly good players there in Philly. The one thing missing always was goaltending with them. It was kind of, it was thought of almost as a curse. The Philadelphia goaltending curse is that they just could not get somebody to play at that level and be that consistent force in net. I think they finally got it. This kid is the real deal. Carter Hart is going to be a legendary goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers. He is going to be that guy that they've been waiting for, and I think he's going to be a top-tier goaltender in the league for years and years to come. Just look at what he's done since coming into the league midway through last season. He was 20 years old last year when he got called up to the NHL. It is very rare to see goaltenders that young starting in the NHL, playing in the NHL at all, never mind starting. But he got called up. He became the starting goaltender last year for Philadelphia midway through the year. And remember, this was on a bad team. This was on a team that was well out of the playoff race, out of the playoff picture, having a disaster of a season. He starts 30 games for them in the second half of the season. He goes 16-13-1, again on a really bad team that was having a terrible season, a 2.83 goals against average, and a 917 save percentage. A 917 save percentage last year as a rookie, as a 20-year-old in the NHL. Then he comes back this season. First year as a full-time starter. He's 21. It's his first year. You know, the reins are his. The team is his. This is Carter Hart's Philadelphia Flyers team. He started 39 games so far this season. He's 24-12-3 with a 2.43 goals against average, giving up less than 2.5 goals a game, which is absolutely remarkable, and a 913 save percentage as a 21-year-old rookie, as a 21-year-old second-year starting goaltender. First full season as the starter. Unbelievable from Carter Hart this season. And he's just 21 years old. I can't even begin to fathom how good he is going to be when he's 25, 26, 27. Like, what he is going to be, I think, one of the best goalies in the league 5-6 years down the road from now. You know, just one of those top-tier guys that's in the Vezina conversation year in and year out, and a guy who is going to be leading this team to a lot of success. And it's been a long time coming for Philadelphia. They've managed to be a good team without the consistent goaltending. They've managed to be a playoff team, but they haven't really gone deep into the playoffs, with the exception of a few years, particularly the 2010 playoffs when they went to the Cup final before losing to Chicago. They haven't gone deep recently, though. They're generally out in the first round when they do get in. But I think that goaltending's been the problem, and that's changing. And this Philadelphia Flyers team this year is, I think, the best team they've had in a number of years. I think they're a very, very good team. They've got some great young players. They've got some really good, strong veterans as well. Voracek, Giroux, Couturier now, I would say, is definitely a veteran guy. They've got some really good veterans in that lineup. They've got some really, really good young players. Obviously, Konechny is having a breakout season this year, the best of his career. Provorov on the back end is going to be, I think, a star number one defenseman for them. And Carter Hart in goal. Their 21-year-old franchise savior in goal is Carter Hart. And let me tell you, this kid is the real deal, guys. And if I had to bet money on it now, I think he will win a Vezina trophy in his career. I think he's going to consistently be a top 10, top 5 NHL goalie. And he's going to be that guy, the number one guy that the Flyers have been waiting so long for, basically 2 decades, for him to come in and be that guy and be that player in the rock in net that they've needed. And I think that is going to allow Philadelphia to propel themselves from being a playoff team to being a full-on cup contending team. And when you have a grade A starting goaltender, you can make that jump. And we're seeing it this year with the Flyers. They're competing for that division, the most difficult division in the NHL, the Metropolitan. They are tied with the Capitals for first place in that division right now. We'll see who takes it down the stretch, whether it's the Caps or the Flyers. But no matter what happens, guys, Carter Hart has arrived. Carter Hart is here to stay. And I would be shocked if he doesn't end up being a long-term goaltending answer for the Flyers and a guy who is consistently one of the best goalies in the league, because he has been outstanding to start his career, and I think it's just the beginning. He's just a kid, just 21 years old. It is just the beginning. He is going to be a high-end, top-tier NHL goaltender for a long, long time to come. So with that, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.